In our video, we will tell you about the most exciting, action-packed literary style, the Pastoral Idyll.
First, we shall give you an overview of what our video is going to cover. Definition, history, poets, impact on romantic literature, and the summary.
Idyll is a term to describe an idealized situation, a peaceful, simple and blissful world, free from dissatisfaction, industrialization, and other problems.
The word pastoral means rural, or in German, ländlich.
Pastoral idyll, or also known as rural idyll, can be seen as a lifestyle and denotes the opposite of city and urban life. It isn't packed with action, nor is it very dramatic. The emphasis is placed upon emotion and appreciation. Poets writing with this style often give their poem a calm, blissful and pleasant atmosphere. According to Terry Gifford, a research coordinator at a university in England, there are three kinds of pastoral: the classical pastoral, pastoral ecology, and romantic pastoral.
The history of pastoral idyll goes far back, with first elements of the style appearing in the Bible. The typical characteristics of the style were then introduced by the Sicilian poet Theocritus. Many poets, such as Virgil or Virgil, and Tennyson imitated this poetry, and further shaped the style. Virgil introduced the contrast between urban and rural lifestyles, and political allegory, meaning a story or painting with a hidden political meaning. Virgil was also the first to set his poems in Arcadia, which is an idealized location to which most of the pastoral literature refers. Virgil created the Latin version of the pastoral idyll called the Eclogue.
Important poets to note are Theocritus, Virgil, Tennyson, William Wordsworth, about whom we will talk later in the video, and John Clare.
John Clare was a poet well known for his love and passion for nature. He admired the natural world in its most simple forms. In this poem, which is called November, he writes about nature and its effortless beauty. His wording is calm, quiet, and simple, much like most other poems written in this kind of style.
How have I joyed, with dithering hands, to find each fading flower, and still how sweet the blast would bleak November's hour restore the joy that's past.
In 1760, large factories, which manufactured goods much quicker, more efficiently, and sold at a cheaper price, started to replace small shops. This shift is today known as the Industrial Revolution, and brought a lot of changes, including that many people started moving from rural areas to bigger cities in order to find work.
As a response to the Industrial Revolution, themes of pastoral idyll became more common in romantic literature. Poets used it to criticize this new way of living and started to write about a blissful world with no problems, free from the complexity and corruption of city life. As we have mentioned before, there is a type of pastoral called romantic pastoral, which is exactly this contrast between country and city. It idealizes nature and uses nostalgia to indicate a better time away from the city. The focus lies on the move away from urban areas to a simpler lifestyle, while forgetting the hard work and struggles of people in rural communities.
William Wordsworth was, as mentioned before, a poet who lived from 1770 to 1850. He was a sentimental poet who focused on the day-to-day life and language of the rural people. Although he himself was from the city, he idealized the rural environment. Wordsworth published the pastoral poem Michael in 1800. This poem is about a family living in the country who viewed their land as a part of themselves.
These hills, which were his living being, even more than his own blood.
When Michael's son decides to go find work in the city, it ruins the family and the land on which they live.
The estate was sold and went into a stranger's hand, and the remains of the unfinished sheepfold may be seen beside the boisterous brook of Greenhead Grill.
Now a small summary for anyone who is zoned out while watching this video. Pastoral means rural. Idyll means a simple and problem-free world. Pastoral or rural idyll is the opposite of city or urban life.
Theocritus first introduced this style. Virgil created the contrast between urban and rural lifestyles. Romantic pastoral is a response to the Industrial Revolution 1760, and it is the longing to move away from the city and its problems. The history of pastoral...
Stop laughing. Now a small summary for anyone who is zoned out while watching this video. Can you not laugh? I'm trying not to sound monotone. Are you done? Stop. I'm trying.
The history of Pastoral Idyll goes far back, with...
Important poets to know. Stop drinking coffee. Important poets to note.
As we have mentioned before, there's a type of... The history of... The his...
We're recording the profession. That was a mess.